I'm going to try to make this quick as I reviewed Street Fighter 6 on PlayStation 2 years ago, and as a huge fan of Street Fighter, it did not disappoint. Even though I hated having to wait months and months for new characters like Akuma to be released, but that's pretty much the same with all fighting games nowadays. Now, Street Fighter 6 is cool and has a lot of great modes and features both offline and online, but how well does it perform on Switch 2? Well,
Ready yourself.
Street Fighter 6 actually performs very well on Switch 2, both docked and handheld. Now visually, you won't experience the same level of pristine image quality as you would on next-gen consoles like PlayStation and Xbox, but the game does hold up visually very well on Switch 2. And yes, for you naughty boys, the jiggle physics are still in the Switch 2 version. So you have your basic game modes like World Tour, which is your story mode, and you experience some minor pop-ins with textures and NPCs, but it still performs very smoothly while you're running around in the hub areas of the World Tour, and most importantly while you're in combat. Now Fighting Ground is your basic offline fighting mode. It has your arcade mode, it has your training, and it has some new additions to the Switch 2, which are these new party modes where you have to shake the Joy-Con too instead of using button combos, that kind of thing. So the game also still maintains all of the various training modes like the training, the character guides, and the combo trials, so you can learn the various combos and tricks to each character to perfect your skills with your main. And those are really helpful to get the edge on your opponents because you're going to take that time to train and practice and get better and better. Now there is also, as I mentioned, the party game modes, which has some additions to the Switch 2 version, such as some various rules you can add to a fight, one of which is called Heaven and Hell mode, which is also a difficulty from Devil May Cry. And with this mode for Street Fighter, players will receive a random bonus and a random negative effect before each round, and you have to fight with those bonuses and negatives. But you can also add additional challenges to those matches as well, like having a raging bull enter throughout the match and try to tackle each of the characters, or you can destroy the drones that fly in to have some kind of random effect that will take place. Now I don't know if these are new additions from the recent fighting passes that released over the past couple of years, or if it's specific to the Switch 2 version, because I haven't played Street Fighter 6 in a while on the PlayStation, but these additions add much more content to your offline fighting experience, whether you're going to play solo or with a friend, or even have a little game night with some multiple friends. You have more options to experience different fighting game modes here as well. There's also a new 2 versus 2 mode that was pretty interesting. Basically, when one player is eliminated, you can just switch controllers to your friend and they can take over for the second player. I would love to have seen 2 versus 2 with a 4-player option, but you don't get that here. You do get each person takes turns for the 2v2, but it's still pretty cool to have that. And of course, with the Switch 2 version, you do get the DLC of Fighting Pack 1 and 2, so you do have additional characters, which includes Mai, for example. Now, Battle Hub is the majority of your online mode experiences, and you can play with players around the world using roster characters or your avatar character that you created. And I did have some trouble finding a lot of online matches to play, but the ones that I did find, they performed very well on the Switch 2, and they even held up with the connection, considering I currently have wireless connection on my Switch 2 and I'm not currently connected through a wired Ethernet cable. So I had pretty great performance with the online multiplayer, whether it was docked or in handheld, and that's pretty amazing considering Nintendo's history of online connectivity. I also forgot that this game does have some classic Capcom games you can play, like the OG Bionic Commander. I remember playing this game very loosely when I was a kid. I remember very small memories of this game as a child, and I can play it here if I want to, and that's pretty awesome. Now, I understand the thoughts of having to buy a port of a console game from a couple years ago for $60 or so, but if you never played Street Fighter 6 before and you have a Switch 2, or you played it before but you want to play the game portably and take it with you, the game is a must-have for fighting game fans and Street Fighter fans all alike, and anyone who wants to add a bit of fun experience to a little party night, game night mode with your friends. This is also a no-brainer to get for your game nights with all your friends, and it's pretty awesome to have this game. So that's pretty much my video for Street Fighter 6 on the Nintendo Switch 2. Definitely a must own. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about this game, and please do not waste your money on the amiibo cards, which is like $40 for that, or buy the $40 amiibos of the 3 characters they released. I don't think they're worth your money. It does have amiibo support for certain things, but I don't think the amiibo support is big enough to justify $40 per amiibo or $40 for the pack of cards. Don't do it. Just stay away from it. But that's my video. I'm Anthony Olan. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.